Hey there, friendlies. How's up? Welcome to the 26th of November edition of my fantabulous live stream. I have called the beer, blades, and bushcraft live stream where we have bevies, we have blades up there, and we sometimes talk about bushcraft. Um, I'm calling this one the American Thanksgiving episode, not because I want to be celebratory about Thanksgiving in any way, because I have a Mohawk stepfather-in-law, but more I'm interested in what Americans do at Thanksgiving in terms of outdoor stuff and in terms of food and maybe in terms of outdoor cooking. Um, the reason for that is Canadian Thanksgiving was in October, partway through October, and there's a big temperature difference between sort of the center of October and sort of the center of November. So I'm wondering how hardy you have to be to do some of the usual Thanksgiving campouts or hikes or maybe even paddling. I also want to say that tea is a good drink as well. I would like to say that if you are watching us time shifted to tomorrow or next week or next year or whenever, um, that's great. I love that for you, and I love that for me because it means that you're interested in the content, even though you cannot participate in the side chat, he said, while finally poking at the right side of the screen. Um, what was I going to say? Yes, so I do love seeing those names pop up and those comments pop up in the days and weeks that follow these live streams. If at any point tonight you really love what's going on around here, and really, who could blame you? Um, Hit that smiley thumb for me, will you? And if at any point tonight you kind of hate what's going on, that's okay. The frowny thumb works just as well. And if you would like to take a more active role in keeping the lights on around here, then I invite you to hit the join button wherever YouTube has it. There, I believe. There, if you right click on it and open it in another tab, you'll see that there are two tiers of membership available to you for your hard-earned folding cash, as well as a little discussion about what each of those tiers gets you. Both of them get you my undying praise, adulation, thanks. I would be giving thanks. Tonight, I give thanks for all those who have joined my channel. So, that being said, let's see who's kicking back with me. I'm going to scroll to the top. Canadian was the first one in with a whole bunch of emojis, as he always does. And I think that's just fabulous. Then, so what time was that at? Canadian 7:55. So right after I set up this stream, I just noticed that I forgot to turn that off again. Oh well. Mark Davidson popping in right afterwards. How you doing, Mark? Nice to see you. We got Mr. Peanut Trucker in the house. How you doing, Chris? Where are you on this beautiful night? Beautiful. We were supposed to get like freezing rain today. It's hovering around the 0 mark. That's 0 degrees Canadian, which I guess is 32 degrees freedom. But we did get rained on. I'm grateful that it didn't turn into freezing rain because that would have made my commute home longer and more dangerous. In the eastern townships, I believe they got freezing rain. But all that to say, I do hope that you're doing well and you're keeping warm wherever you are, Mr. Trucker. Canadian will be back, so he went away. He's probably back by now. He's getting some stuff done. It was a long day. We got Chris. No, right. And of course, because I'm looking at the wrong screen, I can't tell you guys who's a channel hero, which I do for those who are channel heroes. Mark Davidson, channel hero. Chris, the Peanut Trucker, is a channel mod, so be nice or get the hammer dropped on you. Christy, channel hero. How you doing, Christy? At any point tonight, if you're getting like lag or buffering or something, or like it seems like something's dropping, let me know, because when I set this up and like as the first few comments were dropping in, it was like Chat disconnected. Please wait while we try to reconnect you. Successfully connected. Chat disconnected. Please wait while we try to disconnect you. Successfully connected. Chat like 6 times. So let's keep an eye on that, shall we? I just gotta mute you for a sec. Faster on the mute than I was last week. So Christy is hold on. Christy, Channel Hero, is watching from the trailer tonight. Nice to know. Are you keeping warm? You're in Arizona. Of course you're warm. But I will say that the only time I've ever been to Arizona was around this time, and it was warm but not hot. And we got rained on, like massively rained on. But those of you who've been watching my channel for a long time will probably have seen the 3-episode mini series I did on our Southwest adventures. Then Canadian shared some dismal news. I'm sorry to hear about the need for a neurosurgeon, and I'm hoping that goes well. And I do hope that the surgery comes up fairly quickly for your partner. And as for the rest of it, while you're angry, all I can say is remember that during the next provincial election. Get the bums out. We have the exact same problem here. It drives me nuts. And it's costing lives. It's absolutely costing lives. You're getting some prayers for. Hey, there's Destiny. How you doing, Destiny? Destiny's also a channel hero, by the way. She's saying hi. She's sending prayers to Canadian, and he is thanking her for it. Hey, there we got Country Boy. I don't know why I keep having to say it that way, man. I mean, we've had this conversation before. Also, Country Boy is not only a channel hero, but he's also a channel mod. So be nice. Otherwise, Chris and Country Boy are going to take you down. Double hammers. I don't even have to say that to you guys. Like, I haven't had a bona fide troll on this channel in weeks. I'm still really embarrassed about what happened to Kevin while he was on, you know. So I sort of at the back of my head, it's always like, good thing we got all these mods watching out. To my mods, just quickly, has there been any like trolling that I just haven't noticed because you guys have jumped on them too quickly? He said needing to. I mean, I'd be interested to know that. Yes, Canadian, it is. I get it. I absolutely get it. I typo the hell out of everything I write when I'm pissed all the way off. I will have you guys know that you are getting a little close to political, and I also want to say that I'm alive because of our healthcare system, so I will always give it a break, though I'm really complaining about it a lot these days. I'll hide that on screen. Mark is saying hi to everybody. I hope everything is great for you tonight, Mark. I'm just seeing if I just want to make sure I haven't skipped any names. Like, is there a David here yet? Yeah, there we go. David is. Are you the OG channel mod? Were you the first one, or were you like one of the first two? Also a channel hero. So, man, there's a lot of hammers if any of you guys decide to go trolling tonight. Okay, just a lot of hammers. Because I absolutely had to do it that way. What are you doing, Jess? Hey, hike with Mike in the house. Oh, I just skipped right on past him. How you doing, Mr. Mike? How's the weather down where you are? No massive storms. I'm just sort of trying to get through all the hellos here because I want to make sure I don't miss anybody. This is Christy's favorite holiday. You guys go big on Thanksgiving, man. I think Thanksgiving is bigger than Christmas. down there. I've been to a lot of American Thanksgivings. Because I used to have a girlfriend in the Bronx. Well, she eventually moved here and then to Texas or something. And because I have a bazillion cousin-in-laws or in-laws south of the border. You guys go hard for Thanksgiving, man. And then the very next day, after giving all that thanks, you beat each other up over like Cabbage Patch Kids. Well, I guess not Cabbage Patch Kids anymore, but but yeah, so I kind of wanted to talk about it because in many, many ways, like the food and stuff is very similar, but I'm wondering if you guys do like a Thanksgiving weekend camp out in the middle of November. I mean, a lot of the States is a lot warmer than a lot of Canada. So maybe I'm thinking, oh, November is so much colder than October. And then there's Christy saying, like, what are you talking about, man? So like I want to get your opinions on that, you guys who live south. Christy says Steve is going to deep fry a turkey, and I will make my traditional in the oven. I guess your traditional stuffing, is that what you mean? Or your traditional like grits foods? Oh, you're in New Hampshire for the week, Chris. Nice. I have not been to New Hampshire, which is weird because it's right there. It's not that far. It's not like Tennessee or something, you know. Shawnee in the house. How you doing? Happy Tuesday to you. I hope the weather is good, and I hope you are healthy and happy and all that stuff. In honor of American Thanksgiving, tonight's 10 o'clock beverage is going to be a bourbon. This is a straight bourbon. Right? Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, yes. So what does straight bourbon mean? So stop me if I've said this before, but like, so bourbon has to be American made. It doesn't have to be made in Tennessee. It doesn't have to be made in Kentucky. It is made in the United States. The mash bill has to be at least 50%, 51% corn, and the ABVs are in proof. So it has to be distilled at no higher than 160 proof. So is that like 80% ABV? Because it's American proof, so it's just a double. There's no like algorithm to it or anything. And then it has to be barreled at no more than 125 proof. I wouldn't go to the match for that last one, but I think it has to be barreled at no higher than 125. And each barrel has to be new oak. Nothing has been in it before. So that's all. And so it could be aged for like 15 minutes, so long as it passed through new oak. And technically, it doesn't even have to be a barrel. For straight, okay, so it's all that stuff. Excuse me, but excuse me, 2-year minimum. And there's like things on modifications that I'm not entirely clear on. But yeah, so like when if you're looking to up your bourbon game, straight is a good one to buy. Bonded, there's all kinds of rules around bonded. I believe bonded is the one where it has to come from the same growing season, same distillery, obviously, same barrel going into the bottle, maybe. I'm not entirely sure. Anyways, all that to say, we're doing a small batch Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey tonight at 47% ABV. And as you guys know, I'm only truly happy above 45. 50 is better, but you know, let's not be ostentatious. So where was Weez? He said, what? Everyone's just, hey, look who is here. Russell in the house. Bright and chipper tonight, because when Jess said earlier he was tired, I took a nap. I would have loved to have taken a nap. However, I did not. Yes, Americans travel long hours on the interstate to spend a few hours with relatives. Yes, that is true. And I have spent long hours traveling south well, look, we hit New York City, we're there for the weekend or like 3 days or something or longer. I mean, I'm not doing a 10-hour drive just for 3 hours sitting at a table, you know? Um, hold on. I'm just like, everything just sort of jumped, so I'm trying to catch up here. I with Mike would rather be in the woods. I would rather be in the woods no matter what holiday or time of day or time of year we're talking about. So I understand you. I do understand you. Grace. Hi, Grace. I'm just catching up on who's a member and who is not here. Because I feel that I've just stiffed at least one person by not mentioning their membership. Because I do make that promise that I will give you a call out. I think we're good. Hey, Honeybee in the house. Hi. I just spoke to you earlier today. Oh, I should have brought the dice down. But anyways, we're talking about Thanksgiving, not math rocks. Country Boy says, I'd rather have a wild one than a butterball any day. I hate butterball. We spend extra to not buy the butterballs. Like, I feel that you can taste the misery in a butterball. It's really hard to bag a turkey in Quebec. You have when I used to hunt, you had a one bird bag limit per season because they had reintroduced the wild turkey to Quebec. It had been exterminated through, I guess, over hunting, and they had just reintroduced it when I was doing most of my hunting, and so the bag limit was very, very limited. But there is no comparison. Oh, tea's a good drink. This is a tea bag, though. I didn't do loose tea tonight because I ran out of time. I feel that I'm just still really late here, so I'm just trying to skip forward because I'm pretty sure that somebody's going to answer the questions I asked. Destiny says I look good tonight. Thank you. No cold, no sinuses. Oh yeah, I'm having some trouble, but it's not as bad. It's not as bad. I think I'm slowly on the upswing. Both my kids sound terrible tonight, though. So hey, you win some and then you lose all the rest. Okay, Honeybee is listening in the background while he plays Rescue Ranger on a friend's stranded car. Glad to see the crowd tonight. Oh, shite. That sucks. I hope that goes well. I hope all ends up being terrific. And I hope that years from now, you guys can just sort of kick back and laugh about it. Canadian says, did somebody buy something cool or bushy to cheer me up with? I haven't. I'm really trying to underspend right now. But earlier, while I was getting supper ready for the kids and the missus, I think it was on Instagram that Whiskey River Trading had a little live going with Craig Roost. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. OG viewers here will remember I've had Craig Roost on, I think, twice. He designed the camp carver axe that I reviewed a few years ago, the Council Tool camp carver. He designs axes for Council Tool. And I watched with great interest because I do love axes. I really do. I need to swing some axes. Oops, I just put that back on the screen. Yes, the yawns and the sneezes will in fact, now that you guys have gone and mentioned yawns, it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a struggle. Thanks, guys. I am not sure what. Okay, hold on. Yes, Peanut Trucker doing the God's good works. Hit that thumbs up because the Hammer crew is watching. In fact, I should probably reload my YouTube page because right now it says that I have no thumbs up, and that's hurtful. Oops. I hit the wrong key. Darn burn it. Darn burn it all. 14 thumbs ups. And 20 people watching. 20 people. So we've lost a couple of watchers, but that's okay. I guess I'm just being boring. No need to be hurtful. I'm looking to see if anyone. Okay, so it's okay. That's the part of the conversation that I'm finally back up to. I feel that was the last time I had a troll as well. I really do. And I don't know if I'm ever going to stop feeling bad about that. I mean, it doesn't claw away at my self-worth or anything, but it's just I have tried so hard to keep everything copacetic here. You know, that's part of the reason why, like, we don't talk politics or religion or guns or stuff, you know. It's because I want everybody, as long as we don't know each other's politics or any of that stuff, we can all be copacetic. Because some people always jump on other people over all that crap, and it's so boring. And I want us all to just talk about the stuff that I care about and that you guys care about, right? Bushcraft, camping, hiking, paddling, homesteading. Well, actually, there's not a lot of homesteading content in my life because Mal's kind of doing other things now and kind of doesn't really do a lot of YouTube right now. But, you know, stuff like that, off-gridding, solar. I love solar, cabins. Man, now that I've fixed whatever this stupid problem was with this system, we can do one day when Russell's up to it, we can do another, you know, cabin hour at 10 o'clock some day soon, because let me just put my cans on to make sure. Yep, we're good. I'm great. Oh, I'm so glad. Took a while. Took some effort. And in the end, I have no idea what I did that solved the problem. Which is too bad, because it means if I have the problem again, great. How do I fix it? I don't know. Just do a bunch of random things again. Because this doesn't give me the same control as the OBS thing that Up North of 60 and Russell use. I don't have near that kind of control. I have no control over whether or not I want to be monitoring the sound. Nothing. So yeah, Shawnee says, can I have some mods in real life? I guess you could. I guess. But I think you have to pay for them and have them follow you around. What I want following me around is theme music, man. I want a full-on horn band with a blazing good funk bass player, just syncopating my way down the road. Oh, that would be so good. I would spend my entire life feeling like a god, a veritable god. It's 9:27. This does not need to be a minute in the glass per year in the cast, because there's no age to be. There's no age, right? Because I think it's no, straight is a minimum of 2 years. Okay, so somebody tell me when it's 2 minutes to 10. But yeah, I would love to have a funk band following me around as my theme music. It'd be so good. Destiny picked up on something that was said before. At least she said Daddy Hammer, not like Zaddy Hammer. Susie's got a son. I did not know that. I have 2 daughters. I do not have a son. What was that in reference to? What did I say? Hi, Susie, by the way. What did I say? What is Susie answering here? I say things and, like, nothing I have ever done on screen, like, for this channel has ever been scripted, right? So, especially during my lives, I'm just, like, going. It's practically stream of consciousness. I know it kind of is stream of consciousness. Um, so it's crazy how often someone will answer something that I've said, but by the time I get to it, so, like, 15 minutes later, sometimes 20 minutes later, I'm like, "What did I say?" You know? Um, where am I? Yes. Yeah, peanut excuse me, hasn't seen any trolls either. Yeah, I really do think that that night with Kevin was the last big one. And I'm dying to have him on again. Like, he's going through some big changes, and, I think that it's possible that he's navigating those changes in a way that might be helpful for some of us to hear about, but I don't know that. It's just he seems to be, keep on trucking. Um, but I'm really gun shy about having people on right now. And I have to get over that, right? I have to no, we're gonna get back to having guests on. Just gotta do it. Hold on. Apparently David is definitely the king hammer. I'm gonna call him that from now on. King Hammer. Oh, there's Zach Fudge. All hail the ale. I haven't heard that in a long time. Wrapping up my Black Friday shopping, just bought a bunch of Mora Companion Sparks for pretty cheap. Like, how many is a bunch? Like, are you buying extras or are you teaching a small course? I have done no Black Friday buying. We never used to have Black Friday here, right? That was always like an American thing until our retail industry started getting its ass kicked every time the Americans had a Black Friday sale. Especially back when American Black Friday sales were so good. Now some of them are still kind of so good, but a lot of them are just good. Um, Up here, it's nowhere near as good. But anyway, so, like, how many more companion sparks did you buy? Destiny says that Peanut Trucker's the road hammer. David is the daddy hammer. I'm just a little peeplet. I think that might be Destiny's entry into the book of quotable quotes. And Destiny says that to Zach that all hail the ale has been entered into quotable quotes. That used to get that he used to come on and say that every week. It's nice to see you back, Zach. I've been wondering about you. Um, Even Russell says he doesn't remember the last troll he saw on the Tuesday night live streams. It was your ad hoc cell phone lives that got the trolls. Not so much anymore, though. Yeah, that's true. There's something about doing a vertical video instead of a horizontal one that really brings out the cockroaches. Highgrowth Mike is asking best Canadian rock band. I would say it would be Rush. Well, Rush is definitely one of the most popular ones. I kind of there are so many Canadian rock bands that never made it outside of Canada. So, like, if I say that, I used to really like the Northern Pikes. Most people are like, in fact, at this point, even a lot of people in Canada be like, who? Or if I say, man, I used to love Gowan. Well, he sings for Styx now, I think. But apparently they still do some of his songs as part of their shows. Um, I would love to say the Tragically Hip because that feels like the patriotic thing to say, but they were really hit or miss for me. Maybe Loverboy? No. Wait, were they Canuck? Let me look them up. Loverboy rock band. Yeah, Loverboy is a Canadian rock band formed in Calgary, Alberta in 1979. Loverboy's hit singles, particularly "Turn Me Loose" and "Working for the Weekend." I'm not going to read all this out to you guys. It's not. My thing with Rush is I don't like Geddy Lee's voice. I really don't like Geddy Lee's voice. They're a prog rock band, which makes them kind of. Did everyone just get an advert, or was that just me? I think for me, Rush is a band I massively respect rather than massively love. There's a freaking centipede. Go away. It was like right here. Did you guys see that? I mean, it was a young one. It was small. I saw a big honker in the bathroom this week. Okay, what do you guys think? Russell's going to have an opinion on this, although he might think it's Rush as well. What do you guys think? Like, how many of you guys know Canadian rock bands aside from Rush? Or like the Guess Who or Bachman Turner Overdrive? Actually, those are some pretty solid bands. What did Country Boy say? You can be my hero. Okay. Peanut Trucker says that Thanksgiving is bigger for you since the kids are grown. You mean like because Christmas used to be bigger because of the kids? Is that what you mean? Zach Fudge says, I haven't thought of a Cabbage Patch doll in donkey's years. Yeah, I don't know why I picked that example. It was just I have very strong memories of Cabbage Patch Kids at Christmas. I was the only male in my cousins. So one year the aunts all pulled off miracles and all the girls got Cabbage Patch Kids. And I got a matched set of like 6 themed cups from McDonald's that year. They had no clue. They had no clue. Today, Grace started cooking and prepping for Thanksgiving supper. Nice. Are you going to tell us what you're making? Was it going to be turkey, or do you guys do a ham? Traditional stuffed turkey in the oven. Yep. You get really turkeyed out, at around, like, what do you have turkey for? There's Thanksgiving and there's Christmas. I guess that's about it, eh? But I don't actually love turkey. What we do on my mother-in-law's side of the family is they buy a turkey and they cook the turkey, and then they shred the thing up and turn it into turkey pies. And I think that's a pretty good way to have a turkey. And I say that as someone who hates to carve the turkey. And so that might be coloring everything I ever say about turkey. I hate the, but it's like, it's the traditional beast, right? We have done in my family goose a couple of times. One year we each got 2 partridges or something. But the fact is, a turkey is just, it practically cooks itself. It's just so easy, right? You prep it, you stuff it, you stick it in the oven, and then you get on with your life until it's ready. David says, no trolls since Peanut Trucker, aka Hero, became a mod. Must be it. Russell's asking how the how the wood stove is, David. That beautiful wood stove. Destiny says, stuffing is life. I agree. I know people who don't like stuffing, and I just don't think that's right. I think that's sick and wrong. But we are all beautiful snowflakes. We're all different. You have the freedom to be wrong. Christy is drinking bourbon, of course. What are you drinking? The same as always? No, because you often drink scotch. What's the bourbon that you drink? Country Boy is also asking Grace what she's making. This is the small batch. Small batch Kentucky straight. And for those of you who really care, in French, small batch is petit lot, which means small lot or a small batch. Distillé et mis en bouteille par the Elijah Craig Distillery Company, Bardstown, Kentucky, USA. Whiskey, produit des États-Unis. Return for refund where applicable. Man, I can't wait until Quebec gets a bottle return service. You know what I'm saying? David says, wood stove is great. Currently 25 degrees C in the house. I'm thinking of selling our furnace. Nice. Well, if you're getting that kind of heat generation, well, except that all that heat is in one area of the house, right? Like, what about your bedrooms? Chrissy has been making the same stuffing since your great-great-grandma made it. So what is it? Breadcrumbs, little garlic, some chives. Yes, I'm also impressed, Russell. That seems like a really nice temperature. It's just like, how does that? What's the performance in terms of heating the entire house, like all the rooms? Because it seems to me that it would be hard to get all the bedrooms heated. Oh no. Pin Trucker says to hike with Mike, it took us 3 days to get up here from Panama City. The traffic was ridiculous. We ended up on back roads. Oh yeah, because Hike with Mike said he hates Thanksgiving because of because of all the time spent on the interstate. Oh, cost you $2,000 to fill the propane tank? Yikes. And so, but that's so when you fill that propane tank, are you good for the year or are you good for like the quarter? Like, how much time does 2K get you? You know, like, is it 2K for the winter or is it 2K until, almost summer, or is it 2K for the year? Because, man, that's a lot of money. This is a good bottle. It's a very good bottle. I just think, if you're spending the money on bourbon, well, you do spend a bit extra. But like, to me, look, small batch, who cares, right? Small batch can mean anything. All it means is, well, I mean, for some companies, a small batch is like 80,000 bottles, right? For others, it's like, we made 250 bottles of this. It's a meaningless term, but like, straight means something. Bonded means something. Those are the terms you really want to look for when buying bourbon, because if the distillate is good, both of those words are going to get you a better beverage. We also do the traditional stuffed turkey. My mother has done it the same way as her mother. Yeah, and we do as well. My stuffing is not like an ancient family traditional recipe or anything, though. Ah, Destiny's asking the same question I just asked. Okay, so you get 25 degrees in that central part of your house, 16 in the basement, which is pretty good. But I asked about those bedrooms. I good Mike likes the old school back roads, hates the interstates. There are times when I prefer like a back road as well. It seems like less traffic, less speed. I suppose that's fine if you don't spend any time down there. I didn't see your basement when I was there. Is it finished? Oh, 16 is pretty good to me. Okay, so it's 1,000 US gallon tank. Lasts about 1.5 years. Okay, all right. So that's a lot better than I thought we were going to be discussing. No, it's not finished. It's just used to store Pam's junk. I mean, Pam's stuff. It was so good, nice to see you guys in person a couple of weeks ago. So Grace is telling Country Boy about about what she's making: cornbread dressing, pea salad. That's in a 7-layer salad. Sweet potatoes, glazed carrots, green beans, autumn apple salad. Sis is doing the turkey, and other friends, family are bringing other foods. Sounds pretty good to me. The similarities between like a Thanksgiving feast and a Christmas feast are massive, eh? Country Boy is asking when he should arrive. Thursday, 5 p.m. sharp. David, I'm also having the side chat disconnect and reconnect. I don't know what the hell's going on, but which is why I asked earlier, if you guys are seeing like lag, buffering, anything like that, let me know, because it's not you, it's clearly me, unless YouTube is just shifting the bed. Destiny says, so that's just over $100 a month. Is that just for heating fridge stove? Dumb question. Can you run AC on propane as well? You can even run a fridge on propane. I don't know if you can do AC though. I'm just blah blah blah. I'm not going to go to the mats to defend what I just said. David says it's mainly for the furnace, but we also run the backup generator off it and the barbecue. Our stove and hot water tank are electric. Semi-off grid. Yes, you can even run AC off of propane. Yeah, Russell feels bad about the Kevin incident too. Yeah, well, we were all asleep on that. I'm not blaming anyone except the rat funker who felt comfortable enough to come on my live stream and diss somebody. Hi, good. Mike says he was supposed to be camping in the Green Swamp tonight, but I had a bad vibe, so I stayed home, and now I regret it. I would be cold if I was camping tonight, but that's why I really want a canvas tent and a stove. Am I getting more late here? No, I'm running an average 15-ish minutes late. So at 9:29, Serge showed up. Good evening, all. What are we talking about tonight? We're talking about I'm asking the Americans about sort of Thanksgiving eating, but also do you guys do Thanksgiving hiking, Thanksgiving like camping for the long weekend, stuff like that? I was sort of referencing what some Canadians do for the long weekend, right? Which is a hike, hit the cabin, fall camping, right? All that stuff that some people do. And I was saying, but it's not mid-October for Thanksgiving down south. It's mid-November, which seems colder to me. So does anyone do those things, or is it just this huge feed fest, and then hit the bed and then get up in time to go shopping early on Friday? I'm getting some answers about food, not a lot about hitting the outdoors. Although I think if anyone here would spend Thanksgiving in the outdoors rather than anything else, it would probably be Hike with Mike or me. Oh no, it's the yawning. David is asking Hike with Mike what the temperatures are like in his area of Florida right now. La Floride. People are just saying hi to Grace. Says to Serge that I want a band to follow me down the street. Yeah, man, I want my theme music. Funk band with a horn section. Most funk bands had at least two guitarists, one playing a Strat, Fender Strat, playing the higher 4 strings. That's where the and then another one playing like a Gibson, like SG usually, not an SG, a Les Paul, hitting the sort of going a little lower on the strings. I'm getting good with the hold button here. The mute. Okay, everyone's just saying hi to Serge. Well, I don't really play a lot of funk, but I do like me some funk. Susie wants to know is sorry. She said she has a son. Well, oh, I get it. I get it. You have a son who's named Jesse. Is that what we're saying? Okay, it all becomes clear. Now I get it. Got it. Okay. I don't feel stupid at all. uh, oh, right. It was a she. Right. I remember that now. I had completely forgotten. But yeah, she was an asshole. She really was. Um, I'm looking for where. I'm looking for the answer from Hike with Mike about what the temperature is like. It's gone somewhere. In the 50s and 60s. Nice weather. Okay. 50s and 60s. I keep trying to do the conversion in my head, and I keep duffing it completely. But that doesn't seem like very hot days, that's for sure. But not like super cold. Um, hold on. I'm trying to catch up here. Okay, so David says, "Hike with Mike. That sounds cool for this time of year. Is there a cold front hanging around?" Yeah. So to me, like I was born in 1972, which was like the year of metrification in Canada, right? So I have no idea what Fahrenheit anything is. Yeah, you got an ad on both. Yeah, sorry about that. Stupid YouTube. So Zach bought 3 companion Sparks at 34 each and a Conswell for 40 Canadian plus tax and FedEx. Those prices seem pretty damn good to me, actually, especially for that Conswell. Although I don't really, my sense of what prices are like nosedived during the pandemic because it seems that everything got more expensive. Like, you guys know that Canadian belt knife that I did the video about, not the actual Canadian one, but the cold steel one. When I bought that knife, it was like 19 bucks, 12, 19 bucks, something like that. Um, and now it's over 40. And like over 40, it's not quite the same stonking deal as it was, at around the 20 or lower mark, right? Because at around 40, that's like $7 less than that Ukrainian knife that I reviewed. And for around the same price, that Ukrainian knife is way better. So like I'm looking at prices and thinking that seems pretty good, but what are these things priced at normally these days? I mean, that's a nice collection of knives. But like, okay, so you're not buying for like a small course or something. You're buying a companion Spark plus 2 extras, just in case. Hi, good Mike says, Loverboy were Canadian. I saw them twice. Yeah, they were. In fact, on my old stomping grounds in Vancouver, one of them pulled in to a parking spot next to my dad and me in a yellow Lamborghini once. Back in the day. Witness, fair enough. That looked big enough. That's the centipede that was crawling around on my mic. Yeah. David likes Rush. Haggard Mike says the centipedes down there are a foot long and have a painful bite. Nope. Mm-mm. No way. That one creeped me out enough. Okay. Hey, look who's here. Beto. Let's not talk about the centipedes down there. Russell says, Rush, of course, Geddy Lee's voice isn't my favorite either, but it works with their music. All three of them are, well, okay, one of them was top end musicians, absolutely top drawer musicianship, right? Just blindingly good. But I didn't love it. I didn't. I like some of the songs, but I'm not a Rush fan. But same thing. Like for Led Zeppelin, I couldn't stand his voice. Great band, hate the singing. Everyone's saying hi. Oh yes, April Wine, absolutely. Another classic choice for sure. Um, Country Boy cannot stand Rush. The hip are more seminally Canadian. Truth, absolutely. For the hip, it's certain songs that I love, and other ones kind of leave me cold. I love Nautical Disaster. I keep feeling like there's a centipede on me now. Silly. So Serge is big on drummers. I was less than impressed with McKitty's glasses. Uh, you know, by that point, I was conditioned. You know, they had no idea what to buy a boy. They just didn't, and they weren't going to put the work in. You know. So yeah, for Grace, the pot pie comes from the leftover turkey. Yeah, and my wife's family, they buy 2 turkeys, bake them up or roast them or what, oven them, and then shred the crap out of them and turn them into pies. Peanut Trucker is more of a ham person. We do Chinese food on Christmas. Are you? It's gonna sound like a weird question, but are you Jewish by any chance? And I'm asking that because I live in Montreal, which is there's a huge Jewish community, and every Christmas, that whole community hits the movie theater and then goes for Chinese food. They call it Jews Night Out. um, because there's nothing else to do if you're not Christian and hitting up the Christmas stuff big time. So to me, like all of the Jewish people I know go to the movies and go for Chinese food on Christmas. So I'm not talking about like 2 people here. I'm talking about a raft of people, and it turns into this great sort of social night out because everyone in the restaurant, right? It's like you're at shul. Oh, except that you're a ham person. Silly question, Jesse. Russell says, of the foods I wish I could order for delivery: A, sushi; B, pizza; C, Chinese. We order all of those things, and gratefully so. Jim Beam. So I'm part of a. You guys know. Well, many of you guys know this. I'm part of a cocktail designing group on TikTok. What the hell are we called? I don't remember. Just gonna look it up. Sugar pie honey bunch. It is. Oh, come on, foo. Come on, foo. Brand images. It is Shaken and Stirred Cocktail Designers. So, we're designing cocktails for American Thanksgiving this week, and I mean, I'm going to be making mine probably after this live stream, so I can get it up on time. Either that, or it'll be late tomorrow night because I still have to edit it. And so you have to have at least one Thanksgiving-y element. I've got some elements, but the bourbon I'm going to use is going to be Wild Turkey 101 because Wild Turkey is a dad joke. It's a shitty one, though. Whoops. Unmute yourself, Jesse. Destiny says Elijah Craig sounds like the name of a Canadian band. Just saying. Yeah, it kind of does. Who the hell was Elijah Craig? Does it say on the back of this or some damn thing? No, it's not written anywhere. Nowhere. It's sad that I'm down to that on this Elijah Craig. Means I'm gonna have to bottle it down fairly soon. Let's see. What does this mean? Russell. Oh, hey, Jesse. I was doing something difficult, and when I finally achieved the victory, I shouted, "Chez moi!" I have no idea why is that. I don't know what it means. Does that work? Chez moi means at my house. It means, my house. So that's hilarious. Hey, Long's here. How's it going, Skip? Did you do a video of the install? I guess you're talking about when he installed the wood stove. That's actually a great question. Oh, it's 10 o'clock. I said somebody has to tell me when it's 2 minutes to 10. You guys are just letting me down. Letting me down. Oh. Get that back off the screen. Ting! This glass is getting a little dinged up. And it's a reasonably priced bourbon, too. Ish. All right. So I am going to get into that in 2 minutes. With bourbon, you really don't need to... Oh, that's 2 hours. Hold on. With bourbon, it's not the same as with scotch. Like with scotch, it's you really want to do it. I'm just doing it with the bourbon just for funsies. You don't need to do it. David says that the heat is fairly even. Bedrooms are 22 degrees and the kitchen is 23. So the airflow in your house is really nice then, which is good. Okay, so when you're saying you're thinking of getting rid of the furnaces because you don't have to worry about like heat pooling in your living room and your bedroom's freezing. That's really nice. Russell says, did I tell this story? Am I going to regret clicking this to show it on screen? I'm keeping my scotch outside in the coolness. One night I went to grab it. I forgot Willow was outside, so I opened the door. Bending down, Willow shoots in from the dark. Scared the... Whoops. Shite out of me. That's a pretty good story, actually. Zach, my close friends and I only do turkey every other year. Most times we do a brisket or a prime rib roast. Man, I tell you, you guys have heard me say this, but nothing sold me on the idea of like the big green egg or the red half price one. What's it called? Kamado Joe. Like doing an 11-hour brisket at a friend's house. So good. So like Montreal smoked meat. Oh, Shawnee says, can I put a link to my whiskey channel in the chat? Now, I'm so late on this that someone's probably already done it, but if not, I will. Sure, for sure. For sure. Yes, I'm about 15 minutes behind. It's 22:02, and this comment was at 9:43. So, I've been averaging 15 minutes the whole time. I mean, I don't know why we have to point it out and draw attention to it. I'm inspecting for centipedes. Yes, you were supposed to tell me when it was 2 minutes to 10 because I was jokingly saying, a minute in the glass per year in the cask. Nice. Thank you, country boy. There's the whiskey channel. The channel of the whiskey. I have so many videos to edit and put up, but I've been so tired lately. Serge says to Russell, "Chez moi means my place. Figured I'd let you know since Jess will only answer in 30 minutes." No, I'm 15 minutes off, mister. Looks like he hasn't posted a video in 3 months there. I thought I was unsub. Man, has it been that long? I have one that's like halfway edited. I gotta have time to do it. In all fairness, I also have a video from ages ago to edit for this channel and hasn't. We should pass the potato around and say what we're thankful for. Sure. Ew, you don't do Black Friday hype. I love seeing that. Pass the parcel. Okay, so what do you guys... Okay, so what are you thankful for? In my my brain book, which is upstairs, I do this thing. It's like a gratitude journal where every day... I haven't done that in a couple of months either, actually. So the whole the task is that every night before I go to bed, what's one thing I'm grateful for today? And sometimes the one thing I'm grateful for is that I did not break anybody in half today, kind of thing. But like fairly often, it's, you know, I, I was grateful for supper not sucking. You know, I did a good supper, or I'm grateful for, you know, sometimes it's something really cool. I'm grateful for whatever. I don't know what, but I do have a tendency to be kind of down. You guys know that I have a depression thing every winter that I call my well, it's not. I have this thing that I call my big black dog that just sort of comes and sits on me sometimes and sits there for like a week or two. And so the gratitude journal is a way of keeping the light on in my head a little bit, sort of lightening up the headspace. And it helps. David, they were 1 degree C this morning with rain. So were we. Same exact. Hey, Jim, howdy, leaving for home. I have 0 degrees Celsius. Freezing rain or good? Was that grammatically terrible? You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Yeah. How is it the same in Ontario and Vancouver and Montreal? That's crazy. Serge had a dozen centimeters of snow this weekend, and it was about 4 degrees C today with rain. Still white but slushy. Yeah, I knew it wasn't going to stay. It's too bad. It was pretty. Skip says that 55C is 12.7 degrees. 55 Freedom is 12.7 Canadian. Okay. Good to know. Excuse me. I'm with David. Winter in Vancouver is tough, man. It's really tough. It's depressing. Like I would rather freeze here than go through that. On average, the companion spark is 46 to 59, and the cannonballs will run at least 64 in Canada. Okay, yeah. So those are good prices. Country Boy says, our snow is horrendous. Doesn't matter how well you think you can drive in snow. It's different here. Doesn't get deep, but Shawnee said 5 minutes until drink at 9:55. So, okay, you guys were telling me. I'm just really stankin' late. Yep. That gels with what my Vancouver experience is, David. Constant overcast gray skies with lots of rain or wet snow. It was, yeah. It feels like the world is gray. Yeah, no, Zach, ham's not kosher. I wasn't being completely, like I was sort of talking off the cuff there. Yes, I know. Homie, I'm in the house. Now, if Canadian is here, Homie probably bought something cool and bushcrafty recently. No, you cannot buy kosher ham. You cannot buy kosher ham, and you cannot buy halal ham. Okay, so it was something you started a few years ago when your family couldn't get together for Christmas anymore. Yeah, the thing is, a Christmas or Thanksgiving feast is a big honkin' job. You know, I'm just adjusting myself, trying to get more comfortable here. It's a big honkin' job for sure. So yeah, if you don't have a huge family sitting around your table, why go through it? Why do it? Grow a cocktail garden, says Shawnee. Yeah, cranberries in a cocktail would absolutely fit for sure. Thunder Chicken 101. I'm not a big wild turkey fan. I like the 101, and apparently I would like the rare breed, but I've never tried the rare breed because it's rare, as in hard to find here in Quebec. But like the straight run of the mill wild turkey, no, I'm not buying that. Not buying that. No, David, there was no reading because I wanted to get people talking about what they do for Thanksgiving in terms of food and or the outdoors. So far, nobody said a damn thing about the outdoors. So I'm thinking that because it's so late in the year, people don't do like a Thanksgiving hike or long weekend camp out. But everybody likes to get to strap the feed bag on, right? I do love to strap the feed bag on. Country Boy wants me to do a dribs and drams video on the Derringer. I'll even buy you the bottle. That's the only way I could afford that bottle right now. If I can find one, I'll pick one up and do an episode on it. Because the one I've got, excuse me, the one I've got, which the name of which constantly escapes me, is so good. It's so good. Makes me want to try the other one for sure. Like, guys, for me, bourbon's a new thing only since the pandemic. Because to me, excuse me, I kind of swallowed that wrong. To me, bourbon has always been how you season a Scotch barrel. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, discovering bourbons that I like and that I'm willing to spend not huge money on, but like respectable money on is very recent. It's drink time. Yes, yeah, it was. Russell says somebody needs to tell him 20 minutes ago. Zach Fudge says wild turkey, potato vodka, mulling spices, and cranberry juice are the makings of a good Thanksgiving drink. That actually, I mean, it's too late for me to do that this year because I've already yeah, most of you guys don't do the TikTok thing, but maybe I'll try to share it on on my Dribs and Jams channel as a short. I'll see if I can get it short enough. I have mulling spices. I have mulling spices. I'm gonna try to mess with that for next year, Zach. That's a great idea. Oh, Chris is out. All right, sleep well and be safe, Mister. I'll see you next week. I hope. Everyone's saying good night to. Everyone's saying good night to Chris. We're doing a brisket this weekend. Never done it before. Someone throw me some tips. I have no tips for you because I've never done a brisket like by myself. The only brisket I've ever done has been with that buddy on his smoker. But that sounds terrific. I do love a brisket. Okay, David. That's why your air circulation is good. You've got what's an HRVAC? What's an HRV? I just want to make sure I'm not getting an emergency meeting here. My fiddler. Yeah, my fiddler went to a tasting recently. Oh, he's gone to 2 tastings, and oof. So this is Gordon MacPhail is an independent bottler, and so this is a 1998 Bunnahabhain that they've bottled from a barrel. I would have done pretty much anything to taste that bottle. But I will check that out later. Okay, Destiny saying good night to so Jess is grateful for not choosing violence. So Jim says it's dry now, but it's supposed to be a chance of snow in the next hour. Okay. Russell loves ham. Hey, look who's here. Marcel. Marcel, tell us all about all your Thanksgiving foods and treats. I had originally started asking if people do any outdoorsy Thanksgiving traditions, like, a camp out or anything, but nobody seems to do anything. But we're having a lively discussion about Thanksgiving foods, recipes, and stuff. So let it all hang out, Marcel. I know if anyone here's got some cool recipes, it's totally you. Yes, homie, halal turkey, turkey bacon and stuff for sure. Yeah. In fact, I've even had some. Country Boy says, "My soul is black, so the gray sky still seems sunny and warm to me." That is a very Jesse thing to say. Everyone's saying hi to Marcel. Like, everyone is saying hi to Marcel. I'm just sort of trying to skip. Okay, so even on YouTube, shorts can be almost 3 minutes now? I did not know that. I did not know that. Serge says, "All right, as soon as I arrive is as soon as I leave. Gonna go feed the fire and head off to bed. Good night, all." Good night, Serge. I wish I had a fire to feed. Does the wild turkey go into the drink as well? Sure, yeah, totally. Wait, you're making homemade Chex Mix and pouring your first glass of wine? So is the mix like... Okay, I'm just gonna roll with it. Okay, everyone's saying bonsoir or good night to heat recovery ventilator. Okay, fair. So many people just sort of saying hi. Okay, Marcel says we normally take a family road trip. Graceland 2022, Nolans 2023. This year we're going to my sister's house somewhere. Turkey bacon. Don't try to pull that crap on me. Hey, I like this stuff. That's reminding me of a Parks and Rec episode, I think. Not cooking, making checks and homemade candy bark, milk and white chocolate swirl with sea salt with a sea salt sprinkle. Now, if that was milk and dark chocolate swirl with sea salt sprinkle, I would be on my way to your house. White chocolate makes me dry heave, but man, salted chocolate, hello, yes. Yes. 22:16, okay. Just checking the time. It's funny because it feels like there's a touch of rye in this, but it doesn't say anything about what the mash bill is. I'm gonna look it up. Just bear with me for a second here, peoples. Marcel loves white chocolate. Hangover from the 80s, I guess. It's not even real chocolate. Elijah Craig, small barrel, straight mash bill. Elijah Craig, how it's made. 78% corn, 10% rye, 12% malted barley. 94 proof. Is that the same as 47% ABV? Oh, that's the 12-year single barrel. No, hold on. No, stop. Just stop. Breaking Bourbon reviews the Elijah Craig. Yes, I'm over 21. You can't say over 21. I'm in Quebec. It's over 18, you fools. 94 proof, apparently. No age statement. 78% corn, 12% malted barley, and 10% rye. So the same as the aged one. Excuse me. Zach says, one time I cured a brisket like bacon because I'm pork intolerant. Oh my God, it was godly. Sliced thin and fried is great. Hells yes. Dark chocolate is the best. I also like dark chocolate. I used to be like way into dark chocolate. Now I'm a little more into milk, but I still do like the darker chocolates. Chez moi. Bourge moi. Okay, I've caught up. With the chat. Yeah, definitely noticed the rye on that. The thing about rye is at 10%, it's still noticeable because rye is a very loud taste compared to all the sweetness and fluffiness that is your traditional bourbon flavor. Like rye, it brings the spikes, it brings the grassy notes, it brings a certain edge, and it's noticeable very quickly. I love rye, but chat disconnected. Please wait while we try to reconnect you. Successfully connected. What the hell is going on? I don't get it. Russell likes regular bacon. I do as well, but I'm not against turkey bacon or chicken bacon for sure. Look, I have to be careful with sodium. So though I do love me some bacon, I have to go easy on it. We also eat a fair amount of back bacon in this household, like for like a breakfast sandwich or whatever. Very, very different. Russell says, "What's my favorite food to cook over a campfire?" It's complicated. It's going to be a meat-based dish for sure. In some ways, chicken over a campfire finally gives chicken some flavor, you know. But no, I like to do a steak in a pan over a fire, or just like suspended like on a rack. Love that because the smokiness you get off of like live coals. You don't even have to put anything on that steak. I mean, you probably should. I like to sort of salt my red meat, let it sit there, and then rinse it off before cooking, whether on a pan or a flame. I love bacon cooked over an open flame for sure. You guys have seen like some of my older videos. There's always like if I'm cooking something, there's very often bacon draped over the fire because it's delish. I love to do like a melange of like, usually orange peppers or yellow because those are my two favorites. With some mushrooms and zucchini, a little bit of oil. Mm, season that up. So good. Like whenever I cook over an open fire, I like to have some roasted veggies, some fired veggies as well. I would like to make more stews and stuff over an open fire, like a beef stew or something, but I have almost no experience doing that. I feel that a fire is perfect for doing a stew with, like just in your little Morse pot or something, right? You're doing a single size because you're alone in the woods because that's the best way to live your life. But I've only maybe done it once and it was non-successful. But yeah, I would like to do more stews. Like I'm not gonna try to do pasta, boil up the water and do pasta. Shut up. No way. Forget about it. Russell, when I was at your place, I just brought a bought of store-bought freeze-dried meals purely because I was taking the train and bumming rides to get to your place. Um, if that wasn't the case, what I would have done was brought some kind of cooler bag, not like a rigid cooler, but something that I could put some ice packs into and, in tweed or something, bought like steak, bacon, maybe some Brussels sprouts, definitely peppers, and done that up because I don't see the freeze dried meal as the ideal camp food. I see it as identical. That word does not exist as ideal, like hiking food, right? Where you don't want to carry around the weight of like this 8-ounce steak, right? You just, in fact, real weight weenies, they'll, I knew one guy who would take the stuff out of the packets and just put them in Ziplocs. I'm like, but in the packets, you can just pour the boiled water in. I'm just like, "S- nobody's stupid." It was an interesting choice that I did not understand. Hold on. Uh, boom. So I don't know, Russell. What's your favorite food to do over a campfire? Because you do more barbecuing than anything else. I feel well, not than anything else, but like if you're cooking outside, I feel that you're barbecuing rather than campfiring. But you've sat around a campfire. What's your favorite? You know, I will eat a wiener if it's cooked over a campfire. I will not eat a hot dog or a wiener in any other context. No freaking way. I will eat a marshmallow if we cook it over an open fire. Am I going to eat marshmallows in any other context? No freaking way. Bonus points if that campfire cooked marshmallow is then smashed over a piece of chocolate bar and then stuck between two graham crackers. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, everybody's got to love something. Um, 22 watching and 21 thumbs ups. Who's the holdout? Who's holding out? David is on the lookout for the holdout. I love it. Venison on a rack. That is an excellent, excellent choice for sure. Yes. Yeah, I do love me some venison. I'm not sure if I like deer more than moose or moose more than deer. I'm not sure. Zach once did an infused potato vodka with mulling spices. That vodka is ideal for infusing because if you buy the right vodka, it comes with no flavor. I wonder about maybe fat washing of vodka. I've fat washed, like bacon fat washed whiskey before. Delish. Homie. Okay, since the last time I found a couple of regular sized bark rivers to match the big Bravo 3, some fire steels and a flashlight. I would like to add a bark river, but I'm not actively looking to add more knives to the toolkit. Like, if I'm gonna actively, like, I want to add that knife to the toolkit, then it's going to be that, the Hella Temagami. At one point, I would have said only carbon steel, but I would take carbon or stainless at this point because there's a context for either one. I prefer carbon steel. I'm not apologetic about that. Um, I just do, but stainless is good in very wet conditions or the winter, you know. But like knives that I actively want are that bucket list knife is a jacklore, but he doesn't ship it overseas anymore. So when I say bucket list, is because I don't ever see myself getting one. A, expensive as hell, right? Because you're buying in pound sterling. B, he doesn't. It's become too much of a hassle for him to try to ship overseas. But yeah, I sort of passively would like to have a Bark River in the toolkit, just because it's an iconic brand. I should know what I'm talking about if someone asks me about Bark Rivers, right? That's the reason I have more knives than I would normally consider. That's the reason I have more knives than I would otherwise have. I have a lot of stuff that I bought specifically because somebody's going to ask me about this at one point, and I got to know what I'm talking about. And by the way, great knives. Homie, did you send me photos? I don't see anything yet, but I'm not gonna go digging through my phone. I'd love to know which model of Bark Rivers you got. Um, David says this Christmas we are going to try Cornish hens, just like Raspberry Rock. They look so good. Oh yeah, I've done Cornish hens before. Delish, absolutely delish. And they're small enough that you can just do a bunch of them, one for each person, maybe half for each person. It kind of depends. Yeah, just take them out of the freezer 2 days in advance. We bought them fresh when we did them, so we didn't freeze them at all. Mm, maple baked beans over the fire. Yeah, definitely. The one thing I would say is don't do them in the can because the cans are almost always lined with the plastic now. But yeah, there are so many foods that I love when I'm sitting in the outdoors and would never eat in my own kitchen. It's like cooking anything over a campfire makes it way more palatable, palatable, delicious, whatever. Needed 2 ducks and great northern beans in your cast iron over a fire. I feel like you don't get a lot of ducks. I mean, you get a lot of grease, but like you don't get a whole lot. But what you do get is delicious. Zach is asking Homie, how are you finding Bark River's recent quality control? Oh, I heard that a bunch of people complaining about misgrinds and stuff that wouldn't have passed 10 years ago. That I did not know. So if I do decide to search for a Bark River, I will look for an old one. Properly cooked, marshmallows over an open fire is the dream food. Yep. By the way, what was the problem with your audio? I had this crazy echo happening, and on the side where like there's the thumbnail of me on screen, there were two, and so I was getting like the sound twice, and I did all kinds of things. And now what I'm thinking is maybe I had like, maybe I had the studio open in 2 tabs in 2 different browsers or something, because I shut everything the hell down. I restarted the, studio, like, twice, cleared my cache, did a bazillion things, and miraculously, it works. So, I don't know. I just don't know. You use Tim Tams as a replacement for the chocolate and cracker. Zach, that is a very Celtic, like, you got some Irish blood in you, because that's the only way I could explain that. I bet you that's delicious. Russell also loves toasting a cheese and meat sandwich over a fire. Yeah. Man, a grilled cheese over an open fire? Hello. Country Boy says, "Bacon whiskey sounds like a good drink." I fat washed some, whiskey. I think it was a bourbon. Uh, oh, sorry, guys. For a cocktail I made, one of my bushcraft cocktails back in the day. I'd like to redo those cocktails. I think the Canoe Hound is successful, but the other ones I'd like to simplify. But yeah, fat washing your whiskey can really make it. But you need a really smoky bacon though. To really get what you're going for, you need a really smoky bacon. Zach used to be a carbon snob for bush knives until my basement apartment flooded while I was on Christmas vacation at your mother's. Well, that's the thing, right? That's where stainless comes in really handy. How did I end up muted? Yes, whatever. Moving on. I don't care. I'm not repeating any of that. uh, not adding the time to the end. No way. I got to go shoot a video after this. Yeah, I'm skipping. Okay. I don't remember what I was talking about, but it kind of doesn't matter. Oop, whiskey. Ah, that must be it. Well, we got 20 minutes left of the live stream, so plenty of time to. What I was going to say was, this was stuck or something at one point because it suddenly was like, voomp, like this huge scroll of stoof. Homie sent me some pics. Apparently, whiskey. That would be a great channel name. Okay, where did you send the pics to? Did you send it to the gram of Instas? Yes, you did. Very big difference in size there. I love the one in the middle. That one in the middle, I'm like, yup, 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 yup. Apparently, the quality was good on all three of those. That's good to know. I'm just so used to quality control becoming a problem for formerly fantabulous brands that if someone says, "What about the quality control?" I hear is bad. I just automatically believe it now, no matter what the brand. You know, um, Steve Jobs would never have let this leave the factory, for instance. And this is a company that used to be primo compared to the others. Like, we're used to Samsung phones exploding, but um, there are some issues with this that really bug me because that's a $2,000 phone. Stupid to spend that much on a phone. It's god awful. Brass pins and red liners on all of them. Nice. I would love a knife with like maybe a desert ironwood, a nice dark wood with mosaic pins and yellow or blaze orange liners. When guys who've been watching my channel for a long time will remember my Australian bushcraft knife, my Campbell. The liners on that are black. Um, when I was having that knife built, I sent him a note saying, "Hey, can I have yellow liners on that?" And he said, "Well, you could have, except like about an hour ago, I put black liners on it." I was like, "Oh." Russell's Samsung works great, and I think it was $360. Yep, yep. If I was to buy in a universe where I was going to, deal with Android, I would probably buy a Samsung or an LG. You know, I'm waiting for okay, nobody's actually saying anything because I was going to say I'm waiting for uh, the what's this called? The chat to scroll, but no, we're good. We're caught up. We're all caught up. Um, hey, how many of you guys are making pumpkin pie? And of those, how many of you guys put that marshmallow fluff crap on your pumpkin pie? Because that was a very foreign thing that I discovered one year while I was down there. No, same Thanksgiving meal in New York City. One was a white gravy instead of a dark brown one. I was just like, "What's going on here?" Or like a light whatever. It looked like a light gray to me. And the other was like pumpkin pie with like this marshmallow fluff crap on it. I was like, "No. Love me some pumpkin pie. Do not love the marshmallow fluff." Um, Ba-ba-bum. Russell's asking me, "What tents are you thinking about recently?" Okay, so here's the thing. I have a fabulous two-person tent, right? It's the Hubba Hubba 2, but I threw away the tent you guys saw in my camping with the kids video because of some irreparable damage. So I want to replace that, but I can't go spending like $1,200 on a tent. Not this year. Um, and also because that size tent is not something that I'm hiking into the woods with on a serious bushcraft trip, right? That's a car camping option. Taking the family to like a sit pack or something like I'm not wild camping in a 6 or 8 person tent. So I'm looking at my options for that size tent right now to replace the family camping tent that I threw away. Apparently, David is thinking of going back to smoke signals. Okay, let me know how that goes. David is buying his pumpkin pie without fluff. Good, good. Grace says marshmallow fluff. No, whipped cream. Yes, yeah. Whipped cream is not. It's not beyond the pale for me. I was like, marshmallow fluff. What? I have no idea what's going on between Russell and David right now. What about hammock tents? Well, I've got a good one. Or do you mean like those like three-sided suspended? Um, I think they're just too expensive for me to try. And I don't like, even when I was throwing up my camping hammock at your place, I was like, geez, I hope I did all these knots right, or I'm gonna end up hurting partway through the night, kind of thing. Yeah, those suspended. I'm going on the concept that you're talking about, that sort of suspended tent, with the three huge lines going out. I would love to try it. It must feel amazing to sleep on that and to not have to worry about rolling off your sleeping pad onto the cold, cold ground. Eh, I'm sure it's amazing. I just it's an expensive mistake if I hate it, because I believe they're really expensive. Does anyone have one of those? Cold tents. Oops. Cold tents I'm not so into. I like, for my winter camping, I want to do a hot tent. I absolutely want to do a hot tent. I think um Pine Martin cold tents. But I no, I want a hot tent. I want a stove in it. I want it to be made of canvas. Yeah. You meant hot tents. Okay, yes. In that case, wood stove, yes, absolutely. For winter camping, I want to have two good pair of socks, right? One for during the day, and then a dry one for sleeping in. And while I'm sleeping, I'm gonna hang the other pair up in the peak of the tent where it gets nice and hot, and it will be dry by the end of the night because of the wood stove. And I love when I'm like, a lot of this comes from when I used to camp in that drafty ass shack. Well, that's where our hunting camp was. I love it when it's cold outside. I get in, start the fire, get down to my thermal base layer, and get into the sleeping bag, and just sit there warm. The smell of the burning wood and the sound of the howling wind outside. I just love it. And so like that's what I want, you know? Cold snow outside, mm, and just toasty. Yeah, at 3 a.m. or midnight or whatever, I'm gonna have to throw more logs in. I get it. I know. For sure. For sure. And I love stoking the fire back up in the morning to make my tea, have a little toast. You wanna get that the hammock, eh? The lay flat? My Hennessy is a lay flat. The hammock looks really different than I was used to, though. Russell says, "Main advantages to camping in the Boreal over broadleaf." I don't know if there are any, to be honest with you. I like the Boreal because I love the Boreal. I don't think it's necessarily better than broadleaf. I mean, you live surrounded by an almost mystical beauty, especially in the fall. I miss your place on that weekend between September and October, let me tell you. Um, Especially like the part with the aspens. The Boreal doesn't do that. It doesn't do the yellow light of the aspen. Well, I mean, there are some of those trees up there, but um, massive amounts of resin everywhere. So starting a fire is going to be easier, but you know, loving the boreal doesn't mean not liking the broadleaf, the mixed broadleaf. So caramelly, so rye spicy. Mm. Where's Al these days? I miss having that guy in the side chat. He keeps things nice and lively, and sometimes gets a little edgy, but always sort of you know pulls it back. Um, I'm waiting for that comment to appear over here. Yes, Grace. It doesn't get hot enough here to justify a hot tent and stove. Can keep plenty warm and a good sleeping bag. Seldom gets much below freezing. Yeah, here it gets a lot below freezing. I mean, we don't sit here at -40 for the whole winter or anything. I mean, it might hit -40 every now and again, but generally the low -20s, by which I mean high numerically, no low temperature wise, into the early -30s is usually about as bad as it gets around here. But that's still cold enough for me, let me tell you. That still makes me want a nice, wood burning stove in my tent. For sure. Um, I think, look, you need hardwoods to have a really fully comfortable night. You need some oak or some maple or some beech or something like that, because it'll burn hot, especially with maple, but it'll burn long. That's what you need. You need something that burns long, and I don't think the boreal's gonna get you a lot of that. You're gonna have to look for your hardwoods up there, you know? Starting a fire is gonna be bloody easy because of all the resin in all the wood you can chop, but, I definitely think that, down around where you live, because I saw plenty of hardwoods on your property, right? Oh, it's 10 minutes to break to ending, eh? Destiny's just dropped something in the chat, but everything is okay. Are there any hardwoods in the boreal? Yeah, there are some. I mean, especially like if you're talking about in the zone that where the two sort of start mixing. It's just there's going to be more down in the broadleaf for sure. Destiny, thank you for a great live, Jess. Really appreciate the interesting chat, the wonderful side chatters, and that you are spending your time with us each week. Take care, y'all. Bonsoir et bisous. See you next week, Destiny. Thanks for kicking back with us. It's always nice to have you in the side chat, keeping track of the quotable quotes. I think she's going to publish that book one day, and we're all going to be a little. Did I really say that? Anyways, à bientôt, Destiny. À la prochaine. I'm waiting because there's some chat happening on the YouTube side that Country Boy says boreal is mostly black spruce, isn't it? Black spruce is pretty damn dense for softwood. um, Black spruce is definitely a signpost of the boreal for sure. Excuse me. Um, and I love it. I'd be lying if I said it was the prettiest. Yeah, if it was a very pretty um, conifer, but there's a magic to it. I feel. Um, and it's because I associate it with being up there, right? Um, so black spruce is big for sure. There's a poplar, a balsam poplar that lives up in the boreal. Um, which is kind of related to the aspen, right? So you get the same yellow fall, which is so nice. Birch, right? There's a lot of birch in the boreal. Birch is everywhere though. It's a what do you call it? A pioneer tree. Like so everything gets burnt out, it suddenly shoots up, and gets the forest started again. What else is in the boreal? Excuse me. Black spruce we've already talked about. Um, Jack pine, lovely looking tree for sure. Tamarack, I'm sure there's aspens up there too. I'm running out of trees that like. I'm running out of trees that I remember noticing when we were up in the Saguenay. But yeah, a lot of black spruce for sure. Um, oh, okay. Jim is out as well. Need to catch up with the missus. Good night, all. Peace soup. Have yourself a good one. Maybe we'll see you next week. Zach says my family does moose camp from the end of September to a few weeks before Christmas. Mostly hot tenting on family land. Those of us without moose tags get fishing licenses and pastime at the brook. I think what is required in my life is land. Once I got a piece of land, I can do anything on it, right? I can pitch a hot tent. I can pitch a log cabin or a stick frame cabin like Russell's got. His cabin's very nice. Gotta buy the land. I can just put up a lean-to. I would love to build that cabin though. How's the retirement plan coming? Got some hot lottery tickets. I've started buying them, but so far it's a waste of money. It's nice to dream though. Like if I didn't let myself dream, I think my headspace would be a lot darker than it is. Just allowing yourself to sit there and dream can really be therapeutic sometimes. 5 minutes to closing. 5 minutes to closing time. That's such a whiny song. I don't remember who did that song. I'm not talking about the Leonard Cohen's closing time. I'm talking about whatever that other band's name is. City Girl bought me a Lotto Max and a 649 for your birthday, but she signed them before she gave them to me. That's like smart girl. I wonder if I have any tickets to check. I should verify that. But yeah, it'd be nice to. But like then where does one buy their land? Like in a piece of Canada as old as Quebec, you go really far before you hit on like crown land because it would be really cool to buy a few acres that back onto crown land because then I can afford to have all that access without having to spend because it's expensive to buy like 200 acres like Russell or I don't remember what you have, but like if I could get away with buying 10 acres that backs onto crown land, amazing. But like just finding that kind of setup in this province is nuts. I mean, I guess I don't have to stick here, right? I could just shunt across the border, like go to the Ottawa Valley or something. But yeah, you thought it was hilarious. Yeah, absolutely. That's funny. That's very funny. Look for hunting properties. They can be real small, even a half acre. But if it's beside crown land, it's a huge backyard for most of the year. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Zach says no one is here full time, but everyone is there on weekends. We ended it. He's talking about the land where they go to hunt. We ended it a month and a half early because everyone was going after moose tagged. Everyone going after moose tagged out early. Good times are always had there. Man, I don't know anyone in my personal life who bagged a deer or a moose this year at all. I mean, it was too warm, too rainy, too climate changed, I guess, which is too bad because I do love me some moose and some venison. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Excuse me. It's okay for me to yawn now because we're like 2 minutes to closing. um, yeah, Russell says that's a lot of moose. That is a lot of moose. But well, I don't know, like where Zach lives. I don't know what like your bag limit is here because in Quebec it's 2 or 3 people per moose, depending on where you are. I think in some zones it might even be 4, but I'm not sure about that. Like I don't know what to go into. Oops. Oh, country boy, still got 3 weeks to get your muley. Nice. David says, go to Northern Ontario, look for your property back on the Crown land. Yeah, could do that. It's just, man, I don't want to have to drive 6 or 8 hours to my land, from Montreal. I want to be able to leave after work on Friday, be there before like midnight kind of thing. Yeah, like Russell says, like, you know, if I have to be there a week to make the drive worthwhile, it's too far. Because at this stage in my life, I don't get a week. I'm just waiting to see. Oh, it's 11 o'clock. Okay, let's shut her down so that I can get on with my evening and still be in bed relatively early. Between this week, by which I mean tonight, the episode that we are closing down right now, and next week's live stream, I think that everybody should be sane, be healthy, be safe, and be kind to one another. Good night, folks. I'll see you next week.